At WWDC 2023, Apple announced the release of SKAN 5.0. In fact, Apple has faithfully released updated versions of their StoreKit ad network about twice a year since 2021. But it begs the question, who among the advertising ecosystem is using SKAN, and which version? Let's take a look. This chart represents SKAN attributed installs over the past 2+ years. We see that a handful of publishers are reporting SKAN conversions. However, Kochava has over 2,000 iOS network integrations, but only 5 networks have meaningfully implemented a SKAN framework. That's an adoption rate of 0.25%. Additionally, all versions of SKAN are represented in this chart, meaning 1.0 through 4.0, and each StoreKit ad version is remarkably different from the one before it. Each varies in terms of the granularity of data and what feedback the advertiser sees. WWDC 23 saw the announcement of SKAN 5.0, which again is a different model, but does include the notion of retargeting and re-engagement, an aspect of marketing that was hamstrung in earlier SKAN versions. Considering the current adoption rate of earlier SKAN versions, including SKAN 4.0, I think it's unrealistic we'll see much 5.0 adoption anytime soon, unless something changes. If the past few years are an indicator, the industry may still be struggling with 4.0 this time next year. The reason we see low adoption rates at the publisher level is due to one important factor: lack of enforcement by Apple. I expect this to change. I don't think anyone in the industry thinks Apple will step backward to a lower privacy approach. Therefore, I would argue enforcement is inevitable. Another reason I believe we haven't seen more publisher SKAN adoption is that networks can still exploit probabilistic match types, i.e. fingerprinting. If and when private relay is on most iOS devices, there will be fewer probabilistic opportunities to match ad signals to conversion outcomes. I also believe Apple will likely switch from private relay confined to private browsing to an always-on private relay across any network connection type. If and when this happens, it will remove one of the key elements of the probabilistic attribution, the IP address. This change would incentivize networks to adopt SKAN because there would be only 2 options for attribution on iOS: user consent captured via the App Tracking Transparency Framework, or SKAN attribution. So, if you are, like many marketers, behind the curve on SKAN adoption, the team at Kochava can help. Contact us for a SKAN consult.